ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरकृष्णे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 49, verse number 22. So it is Akrura who is giving some good advice to King Dhritarashtra before he leaves for Mathura, because he heard as well as saw that Dhritarashtra was very unfavorable towards the Pandavas and Kunti. So therefore he speaks that as a king, and especially their uncle and protector, he should not behave like this. This is adharmic, this is irreligious. and ultimately it will bring bad karma to you, for which you have to suffer. So that's what is said. Adharmopachitam vittam harantyanyalpamedhasah sambhojaniyāpadeshair jalani va jalaukasah. So you may say, well, I am collecting wealth for the enjoyment of my children. So you already said that it is you who have to suffer the karma for that. That adharmopachitam vittam haranti anni alpamedhasa. So alpamedhasa means foolish person who does not have good intelligence. So such people, they earn money by immoral, irreligious means, and then it is others who enjoy it. They take it away, even if they are children, relatives, because how much person himself or herself will enjoy the wealth. So he says that this wealth which you earn by adharma, then others take it away, sambhojaniya, apdeshai, on some pretext, apadesh. So he gives example, jalani iva jalaukasa. So just like in the water there may be a fish, then fish gives birth to many fish, right? They give a lot of eggs. Then these fish are moving around this big fish, the mother fish, and they're drinking the water in which that big fish is living. So if the water is limited, then she will die. So you produce, and then they take away everything. So he says you are trying to favor your children and being biased towards the Pandavas, but they will take all your money and you have to ultimately suffer for that. Kincha yava cha yada cha saha vasanti tadapi klesho parjita vitta apaharitaya putra nama shatrava eva geya itya. So previously he said that no one stays with you permanently. You have your children, they go away, they have to find a job, they study. And then even if they live with you, then what happens? That the wealth which you have earned with great effort, so they take it away. And in this way, what you call as your son is actually your enemy, because he is taking away your hard-earned wealth. So putra nam satrava eva. So putra is called put because he protects, but this is not protecting, it's actually taking away. So dharma iti sambhojaniya poshya vayam putradaya iti. And then they take this money, say that we are dependent on you, you have to protect us on these different pretexts. So alpadhiyo mudhasya vittam haranti. And in this way, the wealth of the foolish person is taken away by the friends, relatives. Jalaukaso matsyasya jivan bhutani jalani yatha tat putra haranti tadvat. Just like a big fish whose very life is water is taken away by the children. They are drinking day and night that water, becoming big. So he says this is all what will happen to you. So of course he is giving instruction not to do things illegal or immoral. Not that does not mean you should not take care of your children or family or members. But when people do things illegally, there are a lot of people who make a lot of money illegally, and they put it in the bank and then they die. So they don't make use of it. And many times people think that the father thinks that he has to make money for the children, as if children are just foolish, they cannot make money. as he is making. He was also a child one day, but now he has learned how to make money, so they can also make. But many parents think like that, as if they have to store money for next 6 generations, because the next 6 generations will be just foolish. So this is how it goes. And then these children, they get completely spoiled because they don't have to work. Everything is offered to them on a golden plate or silver one. So they don't learn anything and they suffer like that. Because if you don't learn how to live in society, everything is suffering for them. They don't know what life actually is. So he says, this is what happens. Pushnati yana dharmena swabuddhyatam apanditam te kritartha pranhinvanti pranaraya sudadaya. So he says, the very people whom you nourish by your adharma, using your intelligence or thinking they are yours. So swabuddhya. Swabuddhya means that they are my children, my relatives, my this, my that. And you nourish them by earning money in an illegal manner. So then these very people, they leave him when he does not have money, or they have taken away the money. The story is there in Bhagavad Mahatmya. That boy, what was his name? It's a strange name. So anyway, who was born to this Brahmana because he was not having a son, and then he got one fruit from the sage. And when this boy became grown up, then he was using all the money from the parents. Then when there was no money, he started beating them up, took away their wealth, their ornaments, everything. When there was nothing remaining, he killed them. So that's story. This is what is saying, that Pushnati yana dharmena, that these very people whom you are now nourishing by adharma, thinking they are yours, so te akritartha prahinvanti, they will abandon you, not remembering what you have done. So thinking that you are not giving, akritartha means that now they think that they are not being nourished by you. So unfulfilled. Prana raya sutadaya. So your children, your wealth, your very life here, everything leaves you. So kincha swabuddhya sviya iti abhimanane yaniya pushnati te pranadayastam murkham akritartham eva prahnvanti tyajanti raya artha. So body also, we nourish our body. So then body also leaves you one day. So like that everybody leaves you. So ya pushnati te pranadaya murkham. So this person is foolish, murkha, apandita. Swam kilvisham adaya taistyakto narthako vidaha asiddhartho vishati andham swadharma vimukhastama. So what is the gain of this person? So he says his gain is only kilvesha. He gets sinful reaction to his karma, and therefore everybody abandons him. Tais tyakto narthako vida. So this person, not knowing what is the actual purpose of life, so he is dropped by the friends, relatives, and a siddhartho, not attaining the purpose of life, then he goes down into darkness, visati andham, swadharma vimukha. So having turned against his own dharma, because he acted adharmically, then he goes to darkness, means suffering, tama. So, asthiratvat swapnadi tulyam ayam, there is no commentary on this. Tasmat lokam imam rajan swapna maya manoratham vikshayamya atmanatmanam samaya shanto bhava prabho. So this is the final instruction he gives him. He says, therefore, O Lord, O King, you should understand that this loka, this world, this is swapna. It's like a dream. It does not last very long. And maya manoratham. And it is made of maya, the product of your manoratha, your wishes. And vikshya ayamya atmana atmanam. So knowing this, control your mind with your intelligence and samaya shanto bhava prabhu, and become equanimous and peaceful. So give up all this planning and plotting against Pandavas, that is the essence. So this type of instructions are found many places. The world is like a dream, the world is like maya. So this is not that it does not exist or it is not real, that is not the purpose. These types of statements are given to become detached. When a person is very much attached, as is the case with Dhritarashtra, so then you have to give some tattva gyan and also point out the temporary nature of the material world. So Vidura also did this to Dhritarashtra at the end, after the war was over, and Dhritarashtra was still living with the Pandavas happily. So he came that, don't you feel ashamed? You did so many things, because Vidura knew everything. And now you are eating from very Bhima, whom you tried to kill. And death is knocking at your door, just leave this. So at that time he listened. Now he will not listen. So now he says, very nice. So there are various ways how to avoid good instruction. There are also nice ways. One is that you refuse directly, that no, why shall I do it? Who are you to tell me this, right? So that is one way, straightforward. Other is more sugar-coated type. So this is how Dhritarashtra will say. So Dhritarashtra uvacha. Dhritarashtra said, very nice how he avoids. Tatha vadati kalyanim vacham dhanapate bhavan tatha nyanatipyami martyah prapya yathamritam. So first he praises him. Even if he does not want to follow this, at least praise him. So he feels happy that at least he understood my instruction, that it is good. He did not say that why are you speaking all this nonsense to me. I am not like that. He did not try to defend or anything. He says, yes, very well said. He says, oh Dhanpati, that you are the master of charity. Akrura was known for giving charity. He was very charitable. He says, you are speaking such nice words. Vadati kalyanim vacham. That your words are just like flowers dropping from your mouth. Very beautiful, fragrant and attractive. And your speech is so nice that I am not satisfied, I want to hear more. But you stopped. It says, Tatha aniya nitripyami. I am not satisfied with it. So not satisfied is two ways. One is what you are saying is not very satisfactory. Other is I want more. Like this, I once more. So like that he says, Marteha prapya amritam. He says just like if a mortal being gets amrita, then he wants to drink it. He says like that your instructions are so nice that I can go on listening to them. So, but he's not saying speak more. He's saying no, I don't do that. So he's calling him Danpati, means you are very charitable, that's why you are giving me these instructions. So abhigyam manyo ayam akruro mamapi tattvam updeshtum pragalbhet kyam hamidam na janami iti atyanta iti antarmad purne api mahagambhirya prakashyan bahir ma sadhuriva avayatha iti. So he says that what is Dhritarashtra thinking? What is his inner thought? So inner thought is that this Akrur thinks that he is very learned scholar and therefore he is daring to instruct me. Does he not know that I know also all this? He says, why is he wasting his time and my time? What is that he is trying to tell me? I already know this, right? Everybody already knows everything. Many times people listen, they ask even questions and then they say, well, I already knew this. So if you already knew, why were you asking? Just to confirm. So he says inside he was full of pride, Dhritarashtra. But outside he speaks very gravely, Mahagambhiryam, very gravely, Prakashyan, Bahir Mahasadhurevava. Externally he speaks as if he is a great sadhu, very humble, very gentle. Inside he was burning. So this is Dhritarashtra, very tolerant person. This also takes a lot of tolerance. Right? He is king and Akrura is just some guest. He could have told him, or he could have called his minister, just tell him to stop it. Don't want to hear this. He could have said that. No, he, like a great sadhu, he listened and he speaks like that. So Danapate. So he is calling him as Danapati. So Akrura felt very happy. Oh, he recognizes me. That I am also somebody. Mathurayam annadanena yatha bubhukshun starpasi tatheva atra hastinapure anabhagyam mam gyan danena tarpasi iti bhava. So he says you are a Danapati. Just like in Mathura, you give food to those who are hungry. Here in Hastinapura, you are giving me knowledge because I am ignorant and I am hungry for it. So you are very charitable. And Gyan-dan is better than Annadan. Right? Charity of knowledge is superior to charity of food. Food you eat, after 3-4 hours you are hungry again. But if you get knowledge, you can earn food yourself. Otherwise food you need again after a few hours. But if you become qualified by knowledge, you can earn money and don't depend on others. So then, if his instructions are so nice, then he should follow them. That is the conclusion. If he is praising his instruction, then he should follow. But he will not follow. So this is called lip service. What is the meaning of praising if you don't take it? It means you are trying to fool me. So this is what he says. He says, tathapi sunrita saumya hridina sthiyate chale putra anuraga vishme vidyut saudamani yatha. He says, your words are very true, O dear gentle Akrura. But your words do not stay in my heart, because my heart is shaking. it's not stable. Like if you have a pot and you shake it and somebody wants to pour water in it, so it will spill here and there. And if something remains and if it is shaking, that will also flow out. So he says that it does not stay in my heart. And why is that? Putra anuraga vishame, because I am biased due to attachment to my sons. He agrees. So this is a very nice trick. So what you say is very right. I am actually like that. And I cannot help it. So vidyuta saudamni yatha. He says your instructions are just like the lightning in the clouds. So lightning comes, it makes light for a few, maybe fraction of a second, and then it is dark again. So like that you gave some light and then it's again back. So it's like a rubber band, you stretch it and you release it, it comes back to its own place. So when I heard you, it sounded very good, but now I'm back to my own material attachment. So that's how I am. So he says, Tathapi sunarita somne hridena sthiyate. So this is how actually people are in general. Everybody has got their own samskaras and everybody has got their own convictions. And it is very difficult to change somebody's conviction. So unless you speak something which matches with person's conviction, then he will do it. But he is actually doing what he already believes in. It may look like to you that this person is taking your instructions, but he is not taking. It just seems to be that it matches with what he or she believes in. So then they think that this is nice. But it's very difficult to take any instruction which does not match with your own heart. So that's why people don't change. Srutvapi na evam veda kasyat. And Krishna says, Ashyaravad pashyati kasyat enam Ashyaravad vatti tathaiva chanya Ashyaravad chanya shrunoti Srutvapi na evam veda kasyat. Even after hearing. So it's how it works like that. Either we don't understand, or even if we understand it with our concept. And if we actually understand it from others' point of view, then we don't follow it. It's too difficult to get out of your own samskaras. So that's why people remain where they are. This is the story of spiritual life. People generally don't progress. They are immune to progress. They have developed immunity by practicing hard how not to progress, and at the same time feel that I am progressing. So a lot of shaking, but staying in the same place. So this is because of anurag, putra anuraga vishma. This is the reason. He is also giving the reasoning why. So we have our anchors fixed somewhere, wherever it may be. Our mental concept, our physical, external things. So we have our mind set on that, and very difficult to get out of that. So that's why on the path of bhakti they say Sharanagati. Sharanagati means Mammadiyam Samarpayami. So that Samarpan offering is a difficult job. So otherwise Mammadiyam Rakshayami. I keep whatever I have and I offer myself to you. So the Samarpan is verbal, not in the mind. So this is what Dhritarashtra is. This is the Dhritarashtra mentality. So he very nicely says it has some effect. Preaching, somebody preaches to you. So it's not that it doesn't have effect. We are always getting influenced by others a little bit. So he says Tadit Saudamani Yatha, Vidyut Saudamani Yatha. It's like the lightning. So little effect, then back to your own place. So Sunrita Priyavak Nitishtati Sudama Megha. So he says your words are very appealing, very nice. People go to hear Katha, here in Vrindavan especially. So very nice speakers are there, very attractive stories, they sing. So very nice thing. But it does not make much change in the heart. So Sudama means Megha, Sudama, Bhudhare, Meghe. The word Sudama also means mountain and cloud. Tatra Bhava Saudamani. And Saudamani is lightning because it's generated in the clouds. Chaple Meghe, Chapla Vidyut. So clouds are also moving. So how do you expect lightning not to move? Lightning moves more than clouds. It's the baby of the clouds. So it's more Chapala. In fact, lightning is called Chapala. Chapala is one of the word. Chapala means unstable. So clouds are unstable and lightning is Mahan stable. So like that, says that instructions are like that, they don't stay in my heart. And ultimately why it happens? He says because everything is controlled by God. So what can we do? He is the Rishikesh, He is the controller of our mind, our intelligence, our senses. If He wants me to understand it, then I will understand. If He does not want it, then I will not understand. Because not even a leaf moves without His will. So how is that I can take somebody's instruction if God does not want it? And in my case, He does not want. I know it. So Duryodhana also said, Janami dharmam na me pravritti, janami adharmam na me nivritti, kenapi devena hridistithene, yatha niyuktosmi tatha karami. He says, I know what is dharma. It's not that they don't know, they all studied. But I cannot practice it. I know what is adharma, but I cannot give it up. He says, there is somebody who is sitting in my heart. I do what he is telling me. Some devata is there in my heart, kenapi devane. So I'm just doing his bidding. I'm not independent. I'm just a toy in his hand. So why blame me? So this is a nice way not to take responsibility of anything. So Ishwarasya vidham konu vidhnoti anyatha puman bhumer bharavatara yotirno yadhokule. He says, who can do or change the will of God? Nobody. There is no one who can do differently than what he wants. So it is his will like that. Otherwise, who am I? He has come to remove the burden of the earth. So he needs people like me. Then there will be war. Then people will be killed. So I am helping him. People don't understand this. I am a secret agent of God. So Bhumer, he is speaking philosophy nicely. He says, Bhumer bharavatara yotirno yadokule. So he knew why Krishna has appeared in Yadukula. You can increase little bit They are suffering in heat. No problem. Let it be cooler. So he says that Bhumer Bharavatarayo Avtirno Yadokule. He says he has appeared in the Yadu dynasty to rid earth of its burden. And that's why people like me cannot change. That's the intention. So what will you tell him? So vidhi vidhanam. Vidhi means vidhan or instruction. Anyatha iti prakarantarena api kono vidhanoti. Na kopi. Who can change it? Says no one can do that. Atra pramanam. He says tvameva etavata api shikshnena mam vivekam grahetum naiva shak. Iti bhava. He says, look, the proof is right here. You gave such a nice class and I appreciate it. But did it bring any change in me? He says no. Why? Because this is what Krishna wants. That's why they say that it is only by yadrichya that somebody can take to bhakti. Otherwise you can go on telling people doing this. Then it's only by yadrichya, by God's grace, by grace of devotee, that it can happen. So he's saying, he's right. He says, here is the proof. Sacha Ishvaraha samprati yusmad grihe vartate tyaha bhumeriti. So he says that very Ishvara who gives the injunction of the Vedas, who is the propagator of dharma, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam na vai vidur na rishyo na deva. So dharma is propagated by him. So that very Bhagwan, that very Ishvara has now appeared in your house. So he is the one who has sent you here and you are giving nice talk. But he is also inside me, telling me not to take it. So tena tatra gatva saeva nivedyatam yanmam vidheya sanaiva prariyatiti bhava. So he says that you please go back. You see, he is telling Makrura that you please go and tell him that if he does not want me to behave in a biased manner, then he has to come and change my heart. Simply your words, nothing will happen unless he wishes it. So therefore he said, Tena tatra gatva saeva nivedyatam. You should go back to Mathura and you please tell this to him, that yanmam vidheyam sanaivam prayam. That if you want me to change, then he should not inspire me to act like this. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Simple. Yo durvimarsa pathaya nijamaya idam srishtva gunan vibhajate tadanupravishtaha tasmai namo duravabodha vihara tantra samsara chakra gatiye parameshwaraya. See, he is also devotee. So he says, Tasmai namo parameshwaraya. He says, I bow down to that Parameshwara. This very Parameshwara who is running the show, I bow down to him. Duravabodha vihara tantra samsara chakra gataye. So his movements, how he runs this samsara, how he plays here, this is duravabodha. It's not easy to understand what he wants to do, but he doesn't want to do. Yo durvimarsha pathya nijamaya idam srishtaya. So by his own Maya, he creates this world which is Durvimarsha. It's not easy to understand, and his Maya is not easy to follow. So he creates, and Gunan Vibhajte Tadanu Pravishta. Then he makes various divisions of the gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. He enters into everything. And his Duravbodha Vihara Tantra. So his Vihara, his activities, they are not easy to understand what he wants to do. So I just bow down to him. Whatever he does is fine. So atastameva namashyati. Therefore he bows down to him only. Durvimarsa pathya durvitarke margaya gunan vibhajate. So his movements, his activities, his wish, his desire is durvitarkya. It's not understood by any logic what he does. So he divides the gunas. Shanta ghora mudha rupatvena. So he makes some people as peaceful, makes some people as rajasic, he makes some people as tamasic. And then all this variety comes here in the material world because of these three gunas. Durabodham durgamam vihara tantram lila siddhanta yas. So his activities, what is the reason why he does what he does, says it is very difficult to understand. Samsara chakrad asmat gatir uddharo yasmat sacha tasmai dhritarashtra prabodhyeti ki tvam mat prabodhartham prayati. So he says that this samsara chakra, to get out of it, it is difficult. But he has sent you to uplift me. So Dhritarashtra prabodhyet tvam mat prabodhartham prayati. He has sent you here so that I can understand. Mam prabudhya swa iti abodhartham mam cha prereti evam vishmatasya lila. So he says, how can we understand his lila? That's why he says that durbodha lila vihara tantra. Durbodha vihara tantra. He says on one side he is sending you to give instruction to me, and on another side he is inspiring me, don't take it. So, if someone will go and ask him why you don't instruct people like Dhritarashtra, he says, I sent Akrura. But he doesn't change. He is such a nonsense. But he does not want me to change. So who can understand his Leela? So he does things like that. He came as a Shanti Doot, but he made sure that people don't listen to him. Rather, they become even more strict, that we will not give even 1 inch of land. So he says no one can understand. He says his Leela is like that. Ato asya siddhantam ko janiyat iti bhava. So he says that who can understand how does he function, what is the principle behind his activities, no one can understand. Na cha tvam tu samsar chakre patita eviti api vachyam mamapi tasmadeva gatir bhavini iti bhava. So do not say that I have fallen into the samsara chakra. He says, Mama api tasmad eva gatir bhavini. He says, my Gati, my destination, is also because of him only. He will uplift me also. Because ultimately Dhritarashtra, he will leave everything, go to the forest, sit down in meditation and give up his body. It's amazing. Dhritarashtra was able to do that. So he has so much control over his mind. He actually generated fire from his own body and burnt himself in that. This very Dhritarashtra, whom we think that he is complete materialistic person. So how is that whole of his life he was acting like this, and then at the end he was able to do it. So that's why he says, Tvam tu samsar chakre patita eva iti api vachyam. No, please don't speak like this. Mamapi tasmadeva gatir bhavini iti bhava. He says, my gati, my upliftment will also happen from him. So this is what Dhritarashtra spoke, and now chapter comes to an end. Shri Shuka Uvacha Iti abhiprayatya nirpater abhiprayam sayadavah shrudbhi samanugyata punaryadu purim magat. So in this way he understood the intention of the king. Abhiprayatya nirpater abhiprayam. So understanding the abhipraya, the intention of the king, Sayadava, that Akrura, Shrudbhi samanugyataha punaryadu. So he took permission from all the relatives there, Kunti, king, everyone else, and returned back to Yadupuri, that is Mathura. So abhiprayam vaishamya aparityaga rupam abhipretya gyatva. So what is the intention of the king? What is that he understood? So he understood that this king is not going to give up his biased behavior. He will remain like this only. No change. But he tried, so no one can blame him, or he will not feel that why I should have said this to him. He was quite straightforward in his talk. And Dhritarashtra was equally straightforward also. He did not hide it this way, that way. He says, no, I am not changing because I am attached to my children. He said it. So, nothing hidden. Shashamsa Ramakrishnabhyam Dhritarashtra Vicheshtitam Pandavan Prati Kauravya Yadartham Preshitaha Swayam. So then he met Ram and Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna and Balaram, and he related everything what he has witnessed, what he has understood, the activities of Dhritarashtra towards the Pandavas. So this is Sukdev speaking, and he is addressing Parikshit as Kauravya, means who was born in the Kuru dynasty. Yadartham preshitaha swayam. So the very purpose for which he was sent by Krishna, he achieved that. So he was very good in doing his job, and that is Krishna's expertise, that he chose the right person who would do what he wanted. So then he came and he related everything. And this is the end of this chapter. If there is any question on this. Yes, Mohini.
My question was is it correct to say that Dhritarashtra had some real liking for Tattva Gyan and also for the truth, And that was the reason why Krishna kept sending to him great people like Vidura, Akrura, also Vyasadeva when Sanjay spoke to him.
Why you think Krishna sent them? Krishna only sent Akrura. And he only sent Akrura to find out what is happening, not that he sent Akrura to give him a class. He did not say, go give him Bhagavatam class. That was Akrura's own decision. So why you think like that Krishna sent all these people?
Krishna or Paramatma, that it was like arranged because Dhritarashtra was having the liking for truth and Tattva-gyan, and because Kamsa was not having Kamsa was only having liking for plurality and diplomacy, therefore no one went to him.
So what is the proof that he had liking? I mean, they all went because they saw that this dynasty is going to be destroyed. Vyasa is his father. So that's why he came. Vidura is his brother. Akrura is the only one who was sent because he went there to get the news about Pandavas.
And what is then the relationship between Dhritarashtra and Sanjay?
Sanjay is his secretary.
Okay. Yeah,
His PA.
And yesterday you said that Duryodhana is the personification of Kali. So
You don't like that?
no, I like. Yes, I like it.
Looks like you don't like it.
No, but my question was like, who or what does Dhritarashtra personify?
Father of Kali. He's the root of quarrel. If you did not want it, it won't happen. Dhritarashtra personifies attachment. That's why the problems start. Then Duryodhana fights for it. Duryodhana means good fighter. Kali means fight, right?
Could you please expand a little bit on this? One statement you made that Dhritarashtra, at the end of his life, he went to the forest, he was very detached and generated fire that his body burned, and he determined his own death, which means a lot of mental strength, but then also the big attachment that he displayed during his life. So how does it go together, or maybe how does it fit well, or maybe what is interesting here?
How does it go together? What? He was also a great person. Dhritarashtra was very learned. Because they are king. You see, in the olden days, they were all trained. It's not like modern day politicians. That somehow if you have the gab of the tongue or tongue of the gab, so you are good at speaking, then you have followers. Many politicians are like that. They are very expert. They have some caliber, speaking according to the time and people's mood, and they can influence. But they are not trained in dharma, in niti. So earlier the kings, they have to undergo training. They have to study, like Krishna went and studied. So all these royal people, they have all studied Shastra. They will all study Vedas, Upanishads, Purmimansa, Vyakarana, Niti. Especially Niti was compulsory for them to study. Because it's their business, it's their profession. They have to study Dhanurveda. So they also studied chanting mantras. Gayatri mantra, everybody has to chant, they have to do Agnihotra. And he was blind, so more prone to meditate. There's no other distraction for him. Could not watch videos, etc. So he was sitting, and probably at the end, when everything was over, Yudhishthira Maharaj ruled for 37 years. So maybe he was there for 30 years practicing meditation. Everybody died, now there is no attachment remaining. Putranurag is gone.
But that's the thing, isn't it, that the attachment can still be there even though the sons
Attachment
and so
to
on?
what now? Tell me, all his sons died.
Yeah.
So to what is he attached?
No, still to this idea of having his sons, and isn't the attachment something internal that doesn't
it is
depend
internal,
on the object?
but the object of attachment is not there. Suppose there is a wife and the husband dies. So when the husband was there, she was very much attached. Now husband is dead, attached to what? Okay. At most you just remember, but there is nothing to be attached to. And now he is having a sadhu sangha. Right? He is with Bhima. It's Yudhishthira. All these people and all the great people were coming to there. Krishna was coming so many times. So he also got good sadhu sangha afterwards.
I'm still surprised because in my experience, even if I lose something, I still can be attached to it. I can still think of it and lament that I have lost it, or...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's true.
But he then...
But he was not that low class.
Yeah.
But he was completely attached. He was an educated person. He's coming in the Kuru dynasty. It's not ordinary person. He was also very powerful. People think of Dhritarashtra just as if some ordinary guy. He has strength of 10,000 elephants. He could smash Bhima just like crush him like that. That's why Krishna made a Bhima of iron. When he said, I want to embrace Bhima. Because Bhima is the one who killed all his 100 sons. So Krishna knew that what he wants to do. So he gave him Bhima made of iron, and he powdered him while embracing it. He thought this is Bhima only because Bhima was also tough like that. So that's how Bhima was saved. Otherwise you would have killed him. Okay, Bhadra.
And you mentioned the resistance to change. So you said that how Dhritarashtra, even though he listened to the words of Akrura, he didn't do anything, he remained the same. But then on the other side, we found other examples of persons who listened to the message of other great personalities, and they really changed.
Which
so
one?
much.
Who changed?
Like for example, that king that was in the palanquin, and was this the king that was on the palanquin.
Because he was already going to change. He was going for instruction only. He was going to see Dattatreya, and he met somebody on the way.
It was Raghuvan.
Yeah. So he was already interested in that.
Okay.
Otherwise people don't change. Don't you think so?
Yeah, for sure. The question is, what is the key? What is the key? That means that in order to change you, we have already obliged to have some kind of like samskara that is in
So
resonance to.
the key is either you get a blessing or you use your buddhi. There are only two ways. So you use your buddhi, which people don't use much. Buddhi generally remains rusted. And if they use it for wrong reasons. So Bhagavan has given us buddhi, and if we can use it, then you can learn.
Okay.
Tanmaji.
I have a question about Saudamani, the word. So Chakravarti says that Sudama Mudhare Nike. The word Sudama means Megha,
Yeah.
cloud. Iti Vishwara. And then he says Tapra Bhava Saudamani Chapale Meghe. So this Saudamani, this word is Saptami then? So how is this word from Saudamani, from Sudama?
Yeah, the word is Sudaman.
Sudaman.
Yeah.
And then there is a Tadhita to make it Saudaman, and then Saudamani.
Yeah, Saudamani.
So related to cloud or something like that.
No, generated from the cloud, Tatra Bhava.
Or the Prabhava.
Yeah, you apply Ana. So Su will become Adi Vriddhi. This is what we are studying in Tadhit Prakarana, Adi Vriddhi. So Sudama will become Saudama, Saudamana. And then Eep is applied to make it feminine, because Chapala, feminine, Saudamini.
Okay, so Saudamani is a Visheshan of Vidyut then here?
Visheshan of what?
Vidyut? I mean, feminine?
It's not Visheshan, it is what you call synonym. Paryayavachi. Vidyut, Chapla, Saudamani.
See, he says Saudamani, Chapale Meghe. So he's glossing Saudamani.
When you give meaning, you have to use seventh case.
Oh, okay, I see.
It's like you said, Dukriya Bhu Sattayam. Bhu Dhatu Sattayam. Why seventh case? Means in the meaning of. So Bhu Dhatu is used in the sense of, like that, in.
Yeah.
Seventh is used. When you give meaning, you use seventh case.
So, the reason I ask this is, Sridhar Swami also comments on this. This word, Saudam, Tadit Saudamani Yatha, comes in the first canto also.
Yeah.
And there,
Narada.
if you look at Sridhar,
Narada Muni gives up his body, Tadit Saudam. Nepatat Panch Bhautikam. Tadit Saudamani Yatha. Yes.
so this Sridhar Swami comments, and his commentary is similar on this verse also. I'm just looking at Sridhar Swami's commentary. That he says that Yadva Sudama Mala Tasyayam Saudamani Malakara Malakareti Artha. So what he's saying is that this means that the lightning is the shape of a garland. That's how you can take it also, correct? This.
Yeah, Sudama, he says, also means mala or garland. So Saudamani means mala akare. In this
Malakara.
mala akare. Malakara. Ityartha. Because it is there.
So it would be of the form, so like Vidyut is like of the form of a garland.
Because Daman, you see the word is Sudaman. Sudaman is actually Su is Upsarga, it is Daman. Daman means rope. So if you see the lightning, it's also in the form of a rope or a garland. You know, sometimes it's like a garland.
Thank you.